So, to state my case, my partner I have two federal attorneys. One's a judge, but he died. So maybe my opinion, my thoughts weighs a little bit heavier than some. I don't know why he liked me. I guess I was pretty. We connected. That's what he says. We connect. And I'm still friends with Russell. He's got a family, 4 kids, but you don't know a lot of my friends. You met Georgia, and I got out of that situation because she had an inability to set limits, boundaries. And you saw the video about Day, about how he threatened me, and you took me into your adults, and y'all took me in. I think Nana was toxic. If Nana gave me her opinion about stuff, I'd be like, you're toxic, Nana. So I think that maybe it's just a generational gap of like, I need to learn to bite my tongue and not say stuff that I see. Some things, they just have to work their way out. It's like you have to learn certain things. Like when I wrote you that letter about having kids and you got so mad at me, but I think you see how difficult it's not. Having children is the most difficult thing you can ever do, and it carries the most weight of anything you ever do besides taking care of yourself. And right now you're not happy with me, and you won't talk to me or have me in for counseling, like I offered to go to counseling to make it better. But I do know as a mom, you have the store glove, and so it may be repressed in you, but it will make your life so much better if we can find happiness in that relationship. Guarded, agreed. You probably don't want me going with you on family vacations. I can't say what your kids want. That's for you to discuss with them. I remember a time when you blocked me, and it got me upset, and I texted you. I was like, why? Why? I want to see the grandkids. I want to see you. What did I do? And whether or not I did anything, it's inconsequential. It's the way that you handled it. I guess you feel like as a child, you have no control. It's being a child is put you in the most vulnerable position ever imagined. You're dependent on your caretakers or your store glove for life. And so children get that connection. They're like, if I don't make these people happy, they might leave me in the Walmart parking lot, like Jerry and I teased you about James one time. He was crying. We said, we're going to just leave him in the parking lot. Somebody will pick him up. Remember when you cut down that tree when James was born, and we were taking care of the baby and not paying attention to you, and you went out with an axe and cut down a tree and brought it in? I guess overall is like, you'll never have anyone love you like your mother does. And though my text, you perceive it a certain way, and maybe I didn't mean it that way, but you got to call and say, Mom, did you mean this? A lot of marriages end up in divorce. And I guess my thoughts are to take that into an account when you have a kid. Like, this marriage may or may not last. We don't know. But is it going to be okay for the kid? And for that to happen. And I know it's not ideal what's going on with your kids, with their father. It's better than not having a father. Although, in your case, I tried to have a relationship with him, but he was just too sick. He was detrimental. So I cut him out. I said, and he went away, went to Tennessee and stuff like that. He was drinking and not bathing and stuff like that. I really don't have a lot to give your kids on second thought. They don't need me. They don't want me. Nobody wants me in the Ellis family, so to speak. Nana was a better role model. She tried to educate herself. And I did too. When Jerry, I wanted to kill him. I did. I wanted to drag him behind my car until his skin fell off. I wanted to torture and kill him for letting my kids do drugs and cigarettes and alcohol. And I just let them, but support it. Give them money for it. and a Corvair. That's like the dangerous card ever. And he got that for my son. And he was also letting my son sit at a computer all day and get fat. He didn't care. I said, don't let him get fat. And he took James' little, he goes, oh, he's got the Minogue waddle. That's called passive aggressive, trying to hurt me through hurting the kids. And I'm afraid you're a little that way too. You're trying to hurt me, and you're an adult, but you need to learn how to deal with it with me. And then also find out logically through a counselor, if you don't trust yourself, whether or not I'm capable of having relationships with the grandkids. They know me, they love me, we've done a lot of things together, and then you cut me out. And to me, that's not good of you to do that to your kids. And then you're going to turn around and say I'm toxic and stuff like that. But your eyes have not been opened yet, and I understand that. But if I don't say anything, who will? You know, Granddaddy totally hides in his house and doesn't talk about his terrible depression, bipolar 2 condition. Jennifer's got issues too, you know. I mean, she's pretty controlling. And I think that you buy into Jennifer's idea of happiness. I will tell you now, they have some issues. I want you to be happy. And, you know, you're doing all this animal stuff and things like that, which is not my thing. That's fine. I mean, I'm glad you're doing it and have fun. But I would have taken care of them for you. You know, I would have done my best to take care of these animals. And I'm glad, you know, your house is kind of like Disneyland. That's good. You go home and you have things you love, like pigs and chickens and goats, and you're experimenting with that little farmette idea. You know, this may be the house you stay in for the rest of your life. I don't know, and you don't know either. But I'm glad you have the stability of a paycheck that Matt brings, and that you can do some of these things that are a lot of fun. I've had to learn in adulthood how to not have money at all, even be homeless, and also be okay with it and happy. Would you call David Bowie a narcissist, or Annie Lennox? So you've thrown around that I'm a narcissist because I have purple dogs. I have an ego. I have a very big ego, but I have to get myself out there and talk to people. And if people are rude and ugly to me when I'm trying to do good stuff with my purple dogs in the hood, I'll say, fuck you. You know, fuck you. I don't care. I don't care what you think of me. Goddamn bad stuff also helps your reputation. Whether it's bad or it's good, they're talking. But you got wound up in it. And James used to be embarrassed, but then his friends and musicians were like, your mom's dogs are so cool. And I can't dye in purple right now because of where I'm living. But we still do performance art. It's an international school for world peace that we're going to be showing at 1708. I hope you can be there. Don't try to think like me, but you have to trust me a little bit that I know what I'm doing. If I push some boundaries, it's to help you grow. It's to teach you things. Just like that day, and you came back in and you were crying. I had cross-tied beauty and you were crying. I can't do it. I can't do it. And you wanted me to feel sorry for you. I didn't. I said, Hillary, you get back out to that barn and don't you come in till you get that bridle on that pony. I knew I had been around Beauty 2 or 3 weeks. I knew she was fairly safe about that. At least I felt confident that you wouldn't be hurt. But you did. You got that bridle on that pony and you brought him out. And that was your pony then. You know, you had to do those things to make that pony respect you. And Beauty has no idea how you did it, but she knew that you got that bridle on her, and she was like, forever and ever your pony. But I'll talk about anything, and I'll admit I have a high IQ. I know that. I have higher than probably 95% of the population. So I may see things a little differently as a visionary. Sometimes you just got to shake your head and say, I have no, like Nana, I would talk to her and she'd go, I have no idea what you're talking about. But then we get in Gestalt therapy and categorical imperatives and maxims, and then John Locke and David Hume, Rousseau. I have a hobby of philosophy, and I want to bring it to public schools. I want the Blossom, which I came up with. I'm freaking genius with this. My name turned into a blossom. The children are the blossoms. They're the philosophy and the arts, the STEM, the leaves, which is sports and physical fitness, and the roots are what you're good at. It's huge, Hillary. It's huge. I'll send you a copy of my signature. Money is not going to be a problem. So we got to figure out how to have a good relationship and talk. Don't text. Talk to me. And if you can't handle it, write me a letter. Just write me a letter and let me look at it. I am your only mom. I am your MoMA. Morgan and I went to the VMFA many times, sometimes with the dogs, the Hirshhorn with the dogs, Long Beach, Disney, the MoMA, the Smithsonian, the Hirshhorn. Honey, it's a long process to make it right, and not to do things like so secondhand that you're doing something unexperienced for the public that leads them the wrong way. When you're an artist, you have a responsibility to your public to help them have the beauty that you have in your mind as an artist. Criticism is part of that. I go to critiques all the time. People critique me all the time. That's just part of life. You got to have confidence. And you need confidence to discuss these things with a very, very strong mom who's been through many, many situations, relationships, friendships that I've had to cut off. If I'm toxic, I would like a list, 1 through 10, of what makes me toxic, and then we'll address it. I love you, Hillary.